Hello everyone, my name is Rafiat and you're welcome back to my YouTube channel. It feels so good to say that. If this is your first time of stopping by, you're welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber and old subscriber, you're also welcome. In this video, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about making suya and suya spice. Yes, absolutely everything, like from scratch. How to make the suya spice and how to make the suya. This video is so detailed, and once you're done watching this video, you're going to know the tips, the tricks, and everything about making both suya and suya spice. So these are the ingredients you're going to need to make suya spice. We're going to start with the suya spice before making the suya itself. And luckily, these are ingredients that you can find basically anywhere. They are readily available and it's not a problem to find them at all. The first ingredients we have here is kuli. Some people refer to them as groundnut flakes or groundnut cookies. That's because they are made from groundnuts that has been grinded, some ingredients added, then they are molded or flattened and finally fried. They are quite common in Nigeria and most West African countries. It's a street snack and it's quite available and easy to find. Next we have onion flakes or dehydrated onions. I'm going to put all the details in the box below so everything can be easy. And now we have pepper. I'm using chili pepper, dry chili pepper. And this one is important because it's going to give the heat you need in the suya. And there is seasoning and salt on my plate. Next we have ginger powder and garlic powder, very important for making suya spice. And now there is uda. This is also known as grains of selim. Be careful when using this spice because they are bitter when added in excess quantity, but when used in moderation, very good for suya spice. Some people say it's optional, but I recommend that you add it because it has nice flavor and it adds its beautiful flavor to suya spice. These ones are called cananperi in Hausa language and also called cloves in English language. They are known for mild flavor, but at the same time when used in excess quantity, not good. So moderation as well. This is ehuru. Ehuru is very optional. It's also known as ehu. So I'm just adding a few pieces of it and you have to roast it and deshell. But most of the time they are sold already roasted in the market. And next we have black pepper, and it's the last ingredient you're going to need to make suya spice. You see, easy to find ingredients that you can get anywhere. Now all I'm doing is adding all the ingredients into the blender except the powdered ones. I didn't add the powdered ones because they're already powdered, so I added all the ingredients except the ginger, garlic, seasoning and salt. Once you're done with the grinding or blending process, go ahead and transfer this to a bowl. And now it's time to add the other ingredients I talked about, the powdered ones, which are the salt, the seasoning powder, ginger powder, and finally garlic powder. Now mix everything together. Be patient when doing this so that everything can be well incorporated, well mixed together, and at the end you're going to be left with a really flavorful, well made suya spice that you can use to make a lot, actually, not just suya. So that's it. Just like that, we're done with making suya spice. Like I said, I'm going to put everything you need to know about the ingredients in the box below, the measurements, and even where you can get some of the ingredients in case you want to get them online. And that's it. So you have to store in an airtight jar so that it stays fresh for a long time. So suya spice can stay for several weeks to months when stored in an airtight jar. So all you have to do is store in an airtight jar and you're good to go. You can add it to, aside from suya, you can add it to other foods as well. And that's how to make suya spice. Really cool and easy, straight to the point. Like I said, I'm going to leave all the details in the box below, the measurements and all of that. Now let's get right into making the suya itself. First, you're going to need wooden skewers or metal skewers. I'm using wooden skewers. You can get this from supermarkets, malls. They are quite common. Transfer to a bowl. I'm using my loaf pan. Add some water, warm water. This is because you don't want them to get burnt while the grilling process is ongoing. So add some water and allow this for about 1 to 3 hours. The wooden skewers are going to absorb the water, but when you're using metal skewers, you can skip this process. You also need some vegetable oil and of course the meat itself. Today we are making beef suya, so I'm going to be using beef. And this is not limited. Suya is not limited to beef. It's not at all. There's chicken suya, there's ram suya. So There's even fish suya. And I also want you to note that there are different parts of meat that you can use. For instance, there is liver suya, kidney suya, different parts of meat, so it's not limited to this. And this meat has also been washed, thoroughly washed. All I'm doing now is cut into thin strips. What you have to do is use a very sharp knife to do the cutting. And please, if you cannot do this cutting yourself, ask the butcher to do it for you. They will help you out. So that's it. Just maybe tip them, or if it's someone you already know well in the market, tell them to help you do it. That's if you cannot handle very sharp knife. Repeat this process until you're done with the whole chunk of meat you intend to use. Of course, the major ingredients we'll need to make this suya is the suya spice that we just made, and I'm going to be very generous with this. So I'm using 3 tablespoons, and I added a little bit of seasoning and salt. That's because the quantity of meat I'm using is quite much. If you're not making that much, then you don't need to add any extra seasoning or salt. I also added some vegetable oil and I mixed together. Now I'm just adding the already sliced beef into the mixture. So this process I'm showing for making suya is a standard process. So if you're using chicken, you're using ram, just follow the same process and you're going to be left with a very delicious suya. So now mix everything together. Be patient when doing this. Rub it in, massage it in so that the mixture gets well incorporated with the beef. And once you're done with that, allow this to marinate for about, let's say, 1 to 3 hours. It's optional, but I like to do that so that the mixture can get into the beef very well. So all I'm doing now is pass the wooden skewers that we soaked earlier through the beef. If you're using metal skewers, it's the same process. Repeat the process of passing through the beef until all the beef gets exhausted. If you can't find wooden skewers or metal skewers where you are, you can make the suya without them. The only thing is that using skewers gives this authentic suya feeling, and it makes the process easy because you can arrange quite a lot of the meat on one wooden skewer. But if you can't find it, no problem. Just go ahead and arrange them on a baking tray or pan and continue with the grilling or baking process. And now that we're done with that, let's get right into the grilling process. I'm using my smokeless grill and I'm going to drop the link of where I got this smokeless grill from in my box below. Guys, this smokeless grill is very useful. I totally recommend it. It's durable. You can also do this with an air fryer. You can use an oven. You can use halogen oven. It's really not limited to this, but this grill is very good. So to brush the meat, I'm going to mix some vegetable oil and suya spice together and apply this, rub this on the beef that I'm already grilling. Remember, I've set my temperature and timer already, so I'm going to put all the details in the box below of what temperature that will do the grilling for you. And I'm going to allow each side to heat up for about 15 to 20 minutes. After that, I'm going to flip them over and allow the other side for another 15 to 20 minutes. At this point, my whole kitchen, the aroma coming from my kitchen, I'm sure I was disturbing the whole neighbors. But then that's suya for you. So once you flip over, don't forget to apply some more of the suya and vegetable oil. This is going to make sure that the meat comes out moist, juicy and yummy. Let's take a moment to appreciate how good this suya looks. So this grilling process is not just limited to grilling machine and the oven I mentioned. You can actually use an open fire, and once the grilling process is done, or the roasting process, take them out of the machine or the oven, whichever one you're using, and that's it. Very easy to make with the authentic taste that you need. Suya is really easy to make and very straightforward. All I'm doing now is to serve the suya, and I served alongside some onions, cabbage, all that good stuff. It's not limited to this. It's basically how you like it, and this is how I like to serve mine. You can add other sides that you want to add, and don't forget to sprinkle extra suya spice. What's suya without extra suya spice? Aside sprinkling some, I even added an extra bowl of suya spice. I'm just being extra. So I also want to say this at this point. Suya spice is not limited to making suya. Yes, you can add this to a whole lot of other dishes. I add suya spice to noodles, and it's also used to enjoy masa. You can add it to sauces, and basically anyhow you like it. So another important thing to note is that the wooden skewers, once you're done eating the suya, don't dispose them. They are totally reusable. All you have to do is soak them for about 3 to 5 minutes, wash them, dry them, and you're good to go. You can use them up to 3 to 5 times and they are still good. But don't forget to soak them before the grilling process so they don't burn. That's why that process, that stage of soaking is very important. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for coming this far. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and drop a comment, share this video and all the good stuff. Bye, and I'll see you in my next video.